Good morning, hi all. It's really a pleasure, the last day of 4 years from now, Mobile World Congress. This day, I hope you have enjoyed this event. Good innovation examples, how innovation, technology is changing our worlds. We have had really exciting debates in this stand on Mobile World Capital in the Congress in a different year. The first day we started with the example of what's happening in the south of Spain, in Malaga and Sevilla, in Transfere. Yesterday we talked about agri-food, how technology will help us from move from traditional food to protein food, democratizing the access of the food to everyone. Today we are going to talk about the future and the present, and how technology in a connected world will help us to build a better future. Also, we are moving in a more connected world. Okay, our life is digital, and we have in front of us several challenges to face out from humanity. Okay, an example of that what's happened in vaccine. We've been able in several months, in a global collaboration, global scale collaboration, to develop a common vaccine. What we are going to do together in the future. And this is what we'll talk today about quantum. Okay? What if we had computers, it worked 100 million faster than today computers? What this computer would be useful for? But starting on big, thinking in big but working in small. In a connected world, the security, the society, the kind of relationship we have, they're on risk. Or on the other hand, we can take advantage of how Harari, this big bestseller thinker in Israel 2 years ago, showed, no? How the future of humanity will be different depending how they use technology. For today, we're going to talk about quantum. And it's really a pleasure to have with me real rock stars that will start this conversation. And we're going to talk about what's quantum today from different angles. Of this capacity of powerful computation, or how quantum today will help us to have a better and safer world. Okay? Let me introduce the rockstar speakers are joining with me in this conversation. First on the right-hand side is Pera from Synergia, the honored former president of Synergia. Is the association cultural known around consulting IT firms. Thanks, Pera, for joining us today. Okay?
Thanks a lot.
Close to me is Juanjo. Juanjo is the CEO of companies called Open Trends. After working in big consultancy firms, assessing and helping lots of corporates thinking different, made different. Thanks to technology, he became an entrepreneur, and they're doing very interesting things, helping clients worldwide how to use technology. No, Juanjo, thanks a lot for joining us today in this conversation. Okay, and on the other side, it's my friend Ramses. Ramses Thames. I'm sure you know who's Ramses, okay? Ramses has worked in cybersecurity space. He's really a popular person in this arena. But today we're going to talk about quantum.
Ramses,
yep. Ramses is he's the main executive vice president of Quantum World Association. And several years ago, we decided to create together a company. This is called Entanglement Partners.
That's correct.
So Ramses, thanks a lot. I think you will moderate this conversation.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Okay, so Ramses, what do you want to start? Pedro, do you want to add something to start this conversation?
Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure for me stay with you. Thanks Mobile World Capital Barcelona, and many thanks Quantum World Association. Quantum is amazing, is reality, is now. Okay, Synergia is ecosystem technological in Catalonia. Have 20 associations. Have 50,000 people in the employees in the KISS companies. Quantum World Association is a key and a strategic association with him because is in the now in the future is amazing, and for me is many thanks a lot for staying in Synergia. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Pero. Juanjo, why don't you help us to know better what do you do in Open Trends?
Hello, good morning.
There's a lot of people there, not only here, it's on the cyberspace, so please help them for those who don't know Open Trends.
Open Trends is a specialized consultancy firm, very focused in the digital transformation of the company using the technological innovation. In this way, we create a few years ago an Venture Builder. A Venture Builder is an organism to help the entrepreneurship, to the small startups to access to the big customers to implement these innovations. In this area, we decided to support a new initiative about the quantum computing and the cyber security around that. It was very, very important for us. And after this presentation, will come the real expert.
Fantastic.
Thank you for.
Thanks a lot, Juanjo. And the last, and afterwards, you will join and moderate this conversation.
Yep.
Please, why quantum? With your large experience assessing governments,
Correct.
corporates, investors about this cybersecurity space. Ramses, please share with us.
Absolutely. And Oscar was saying it before. I mean, we saw it like a couple of years ago, how instrumental cybersecurity and quantum computing together is going to be. Because when you talk about quantum random number generator, it's fundamental for identity management, for making sure that you have access to the right information, right? I think that quantum computing is instrumental for keeping secret and maintaining, creating secret and maintaining secret, right? We all know, and I'm pretty sure that our guests today will talk about encryption and post-quantum cryptography. That's the thing. In society, and the Mobile World Congress is fundamental for that. I mean, technologies and how data is going back and forth into the cloud, from the cloud, through the cloud. Quantum computing plays in the present, not will play, plays an instrumental role in that. And I'm honored of representing, Entanglement Partners, the Quantum World Association, and Synergia, and you guys in Open Trends. You guys saw it a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, and now it's becoming a reality. There are, I don't know how many universities around the planet that are doing things on quantum. There are, I don't know how many banks, and we will have a testimony today talking about that, how many banks are doing things on quantum computing. So, Oscar and my friends here, it's a reality, it's happening, and it's happening here. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. I'm sure you will enjoy. It's about our secrets, about our life.
Yep.
Wow. Looking forward to listen to our rock stars that joined today.
Absolutely.
Please, Ramses, thanks, Jordi, thanks, Juanjo.
Thank you very much.
Let's start
now
the
it's
party.
my turn.
So
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Big applause for my guys. Thank you very much. We will take out this. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now it's my turn. That's my name over there. And I'm going to spend like 3 to 4 minutes on actually explaining why cybersecurity and quantum computing is instrumental for that. If you're going to take a picture, I'm going to put my glasses. I mean, my wife says it's better, with a. All right, let's go. So quantum computing fundamentally changes things that we teach in the university. Let me say it again. It changes things that we still teach in the university. Encryption, the way we keep secret. I mean, it changes it big time. When we talk about any type of encryption, any type, RSA encryption, Diffie-Hellman encryption, elliptic curve. I mean, these things we teach them still today in the university, and it changes them big time. But it also changes the way you can store data, the way you can store on a qubit of information. Yes, I'm talking about light here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about photons of light going back and forth and storing with secrecy at the heart of it. I'm not a physicist, but this is a discipline that talks about mathematics and physics. And then, of course, IT. That's our world, right? Information technology. But isn't it beautiful that it combines physics, maths, and then information technology? And it is beautiful for a reason, because when you talk about the speed, the computing and power of speed, so speed of computing and power of computing, that's super important. Mathematical people, that I am not, they say that is 2 elevated to the n power. We have a unit of computing that is the qubit that can store, 2 elevated to the n power. When we have machines now around, 50 qubits, 1,000, 2,000 qubits? I mean, no wonder why people call about which I dislike, I have to agree, on quantum supremacy. Well, the term is super strong, isn't it? Quantum supremacy. I don't like it, right? But it tells a story. It tells a story of change, you know, it tells a story of disruption, I would say, on quantum computing, right? So in my last minute of glory, because I want to hear what Jaime from Banco Santander is going to explain on that, on a good video that we have. So guys over back there, have it ready. The video is coming now, but in the last minute I have, when you combine quantum computing and speed of power and computing power with, again, identities, data, applications, software development, authentication, authorization, circles of trust. When you combine all these of quantum computing with things that we have been doing for decades. We have been doing these things in IT for decades, you know, identities, data, applications, access, control. However, quantum computing changed that big time. That's what I wanted to say in my, you know, super squeezed information. And again, I celebrate, I applaud the way the Mobile World Congress has been supporting that, and we have a fantastic line of speakers. Now, let me introduce, and if the video is coming, Jaime Gomez, Head of Architecture of Crypto and Blockchain from Banco Santander. He has recorded a video. By the way, get your questions ready, because after the video, he's going to be live through Teams, okay? So we will have the opportunity of asking Jaime some questions, all right? So, because he's going to be live remote, all right? So thank you very much. Please put the video of Jaime Gomez, Head of Architecture from Banco Santander. Let's go, play the video. Guys, if it's coming, yep.
Hi, I am Jaime Gomez Garcia, and I am Head of Architecture at the Crypto and Blockchain Center of Excellence in Santander. I'm also responsible for the coordination of the interest group in quantum technologies in Santander. Quantum technologies are receiving great attention thanks to the rapid development of new advances in the field of computing and communication in recent years. While at the end of the 20th century, there was doubt as to whether it would be possible to build a useful quantum computer, the question today is when we will achieve practical usability and for what applications, and not if. It is beyond doubt that it will happen sooner or later. Quantum computing is radically different from classical computing. While today's computers run programs based on logical sequences of instructions, quantum computers use quantum mechanical phenomena such as superposition, entanglement, and interference to find more efficient ways to solve problems. They are not computers that run faster, but computers that can follow shorter paths, if you want to see it this way. So, for the very same reason that quantum computers will be able to solve some currently intractable problems, they will be able to break current public key cryptography. Let's summarize for a moment the key threats about quantum technologies and cybersecurity. Quantum computing puts public key cryptography at risk. The tools supporting digital signatures, encrypted communications with customers, entities, and markets, and secure storage of information will become insecure. The estimated timeframes for today's cryptography to become vulnerable range from 9 to 25 years, that is, between 2030 and mid-40s. And second, symmetric key cryptography and hashes are not seriously affected, and current algorithms may remain valid. However, they may require an increase in size or hash output size. But there might also be some benefits. Quantum technologies can enable new forms of cryptography that may enhance current security levels. Quantum computing might help develop improved algorithms for fraud and threat detection. Both for their advantages and for their risks, quantum technologies deserve attention in order to cover two fundamental objectives: benefit from the advantages as soon as they become available, and avoid the risk of vulnerability of the cryptography we currently use. How should we assess the risks? It is important to understand that using cryptography today may require its inviolability for years or decades. Imagine, for example, a digital signature of a long-term contract like a digital mortgage, or the encryption of the plans of a critical infrastructure such as a nuclear power plant. The signature of the contract may be tampered within its term. The nuclear power plant plan could be known to an attacker during its operational life. There are several initiatives to avoid the risks that quantum computing poses to cryptography. These are grouped into two lines of work, mainly quantum-safe cryptography and quantum cryptography. Currently, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, maintains a process of standardization of the cryptography we will use in the future. This work is in its final phase, and the new standard is expected to be published before 2024. Therefore, we can expect the second half of this decade to witness a global migration of all the cryptography that we have implemented since the late 90s, in a new edition of the year 2000 effect. This quantum-safe cryptography, also known as post-quantum, takes advantage of the same techniques as current cryptography, but supported by problems believed to be intractable for a quantum computer. Instead of factorization and discrete logarithm, which will become solvable. So we will have new standard cryptographic algorithms that can be executed in classical computers, but cannot be attacked by quantum computers. On the other hand, quantum technologies would allow new ways to implement some fundamental cryptographic functions, like key exchange, by providing levels of security higher than those achievable by classical means. These applications are a very active field of research for the development of secure communications, secure key exchange, and the development of a quantum internet. Analyzing today the cybersecurity implications of quantum technologies becomes a must due to the risk of a future loss of security of our currently encrypted or signed data. This requires a classification of the data with respect to its long-term validity to define specific strategies for action. In summary, what actions should enterprise take? First, the fact that quantum computing is a radically different problem-solving paradigm implies that the knowledge of current software engineers is largely not useful for developing quantum algorithms or understanding them. The learning curve of quantum technologies is steep, and it may take years to achieve experience. So, the first action would be to gain internal knowledge of quantum technologies and its implications to drive long-term corporate strategies to tackle threats and benefit from new capabilities. We have seen the impact to long-term uses of cryptography. So, the second action would be to classify the different applications of cryptography with regards to their long-term security needs. This will be useful to gather a risk assessment and define a prioritized strategy for the migration to quantum-safe alternatives. And third, after the NIST standard on post-quantum cryptography is released, we can expect the second half of this decade to witness a global move to change current cryptographic algorithms for quantum-safe alternatives. And most current cryptography started to be implemented back in the 90s. Hence, we can expect this to be a huge global effort. However, these algorithms may not be sufficiently challenged and might become insecure in the future. So we may need to use a combination of different algorithms or even replace some of them frequently in the future. This demands so-called crypto agility, which is the ability to replace your cryptographic algorithms in a fluid way and with minimal impact. Hence, the third action would be to design a cryptography migration plan with a focus on crypto agility. Having taken these three actions, enterprises will be ready to adapt to the new threats posed by quantum computing on cryptography and leverage on the new capabilities to succeed in the quantum era. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you, Jaime. Thank you for fantastic. Actually, we have Jaime, as I promised. We have Jaime over Teams. Oh, you there? Okay, fantastic. Right. It was a fantastic presentation. Actually, I loved the term crypto agility, so I loved it, But we have our audience here. We still have time, we are pressed on time. We still have 3 more sessions and more than half an hour, so we're good in time. Do we have any question for Jaime? I mean, anything, the 3 steps that you mentioned are very, very interesting. Does anyone have any question for Jaime about, remember that he's from Banco Santander. He's the head of blockchain and the sector of excellence, correct, Jaime? So do we have any question for Jaime? You can do it in Catalan or in Spanish. Oh, yes, go ahead, sir. We are going here. Jaime, we have a question over there. Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
It could be in Catalan or it could be in
Spanish. It could
Spanish.
be Catalan and Spanish, yes, sir.
Okay, or it could be in English. Jaime, my question is, you mentioned the actions that should be taken by the enterprises in order to address all this quantum challenge for the enterprises. And one of them is the learning. Do you know of any initiative that is taking place in order to instruct or train these new computer scientists in order to address these challenges?
Yeah, there are many. Thank you for the question. Several universities are starting to create quantum programs. Not all of them already have programs, but there are many universities in most advanced countries with specific master programs on quantum computing. And also there's a lot about doctorate programs. Apart from academic learning, there's a number of activities on courses. I have to say that Qiskit, which is the quantum programming framework sponsored by IBM, is doing a great effort to train people in quantum computing. They make wonderful workshops. One of them is starting next week. They are online and they capture interests of a few thousands of people around the world. And when they open the registration, the way the web goes collapses in minutes. So they sold out really fast. There's great interest both in people willing to learn and also in the vendor space and in the academic space to train those with an interest.
That's great, Jaime. Thank you for the question. Any other question for Jaime? Yes, there's another one here, please. We have another one here. Yep. Thank you, Jaime. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. Do you think that the industry and the financial industry particularly are taking the right steps to address this challenge?
I think so. I do think so. There's obviously some latency because this is yet very innovative, and I also work in blockchain. And if you think of the adoption that blockchain has in the world, it is still very in its initial phases. But many institutions, many banks are taking care about quantum, both on the benefits side, for instance, to understand how to create and how to leverage on quantum computing to improve their calculations on very complex problems that we need to manage, but also on the threats that are posed by the risks to cybersecurity, as we have explained. I have to say that one of the most important things that banks need to provide to their customers is security. And so for us, cybersecurity is not something out of sight. It is a core. It is core to our business.
Excellent. Thank you, Jaime. We have time for one more question, or I will challenge Jaime if you allow me. All right? Okay, Jaime, I have a question for you. Well, probably you need to. How do you see quantum computing combining with either machine learning or blockchain? I know that you are the head for the Center of Excellence on Blockchain, and you answered Mario's question on blockchain. But do you see the paths are a crossroads on quantum plus machine learning or artificial intelligence, and or quantum and blockchain, because we at the Quantum World Association, we see something with the Quantum Blockchain Alliance, etc. But what are your thoughts on that? And then in the next 2 minutes, we'll go with the next session. Thank you, Jaime. Go ahead.
Thank you. So with machine learning, obviously, there's a great development of quantum machine learning algorithms. So translating known machine learning algorithms into quantum alternatives that provide some kind of advantages, and some results have been really amazing in some hackathons that have been made. The authors of the problems in the hackathon thought that the best possible solution was one, and then somebody came with a quantum machine learning alternative that found something even better, so that nobody would expect. So it is a very active research area, and we can expect great things there. With regards to blockchain, one of the main questions around blockchain and quantum computing is if quantum computing and its threat to cybersecurity poses also a threat to blockchain. That is a complex topic that I can't address in 1 minute, but to put it short, let's say that there are solutions for blockchains to avoid an impact on quantum computing, but this is probably a topic for something like 3 or 4 minutes.
All right, so we will do that. We will invite you to that workshop or something. I think that is a beautiful conversation on blockchain, plus if it challenges blockchain and the value and the integrity of the blockchain. Jaime, thank you very much. It's been a fantastic video and explanation, and the Q&A, that is great. We thank you for being in remote. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Well, yeah, you're hearing that. Thank you, my friend. All right. And then we have 3 more sessions, including the closing. We have exactly half an hour to go, so we are good in time, and I appreciate that. Now we will have Luis Pastor. Luis Pastor is Managing Director of Grant Thornton. He knows a lot, and especially in this technology. You have a presentation, right, Luis? So thank you for being with us. Remember, speakers, that you can do it in Spanish, you can do it in Catalan, or you can do it in English. This is your, I think it goes, this is your passing. Thank you for being with us, and show us what you think, how you see from Grant Thornton perspective. You have around 10 minutes, so take it easy, and we're good. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Thank you so much,
Go ahead.
Ramses. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. So I'm going to try to summarize. I think I have to be at quantum speed because we don't have so much time after, obviously, the wonderful presentation that my colleague Jaime delivered previously. So I'm going to, first of all, introduce myself and what we do at Grant Thornton at GT. So I'm managing the Innovation and Technology Department at Grant Thornton. So what we do mainly is being focused on blockchain technologies. We deliver different solutions on blockchain. We also have a data lab and artificial intelligence department. And we also work on quantum technologies together with our partners and cybersecurity solutions. So this good mix brings something quite special together with our engineers, scientists, data scientists, and even though we have lawyers over there, we are able to deliver quite a few solutions. But let's say what we focus on strategy, identifying solutions, identifying if a particular solution is ready to be live, to be delivered at a certain point of time. And also we are able, jointly with our clients, enterprises and administration, to be able to identify any legal gaps to deliver the solutions. So I'm going to summarize because what I'm going to try to do here is a very quick intro of how we see quantum technologies and quantum computing. I'm going to talk again about some concepts that Jaime described previously about quantum superposition, when a couple of particles, a particle can have 2 different states. And also, when we talk about entanglement, quantum entanglement, it's quite important to say that you can, with 2 particles, interconnect with each other and obviously change the state. But what is a fundamental change is to being able to transition from a bit to qubits. at certain point you would be able to represent more information, more states that we have right now. So that's critical, and that's a change of a shift of paradigm, because we will be able to first, as we have here, being able to store more information, being able to have, let's say, more efficient algorithms, higher speed at some extent, and also, quite important, it would increase the capacity of processing. So I have a good example here that is being used, and obviously I got from our partners, just to say here that if we have a number, we factor this number, that it would be 15, 5 multiplied by 3, so it would be a 2048-bit number, 617 digits. So if we use a classic computer, that would take like around, let's say, to process this with a classic computer, around 317 trillion years, which obviously doesn't make any sense to process this digit or this, let's say, complex algorithm equation with a classic computer. Whereas if we have a quantum computer, it would just take 10 seconds. So as you can see, it's nothing to do. Obviously, we are in the early days of this, but it's quite promising. It would not only change, as Jaime was saying before, the cryptography, it wouldn't change the cybersecurity paradigm, but also it would change the way we process data, and we are able to create different scenarios. So having said all of this, and that this would be my last slide. So we already had quantum computing for a while. So or quantum technologies, the idea of quantum mechanics. So we have been using sort of quantum laser for surgery for your eyes, laser for storing, and also magnetic resonance. When we go to the doctor and we have to obviously check if we have anything wrong with our bones. But what we have here is the future, is the most promising part of quantum technologies. We also have, I don't have it here on the slide, but quantum optics, which would be able to detect any kind of sending and receiving radiation from a particular body, which would be crucial to identify the way we try to eliminate a particular tumor through radiation. So we have also the atomic watch. We would be able to get a precise timing, which obviously is a game changer. But what we have here is quantum computing, which would be able to help us to process at a much higher speed algorithms that we are not able to come to a particular conclusion right now. Sensors, but I believe that would be specifically or particularly interesting for, as we say on the slide, finding gas yields, but also being able to represent molecules on different medicines, pharma solutions. Also, we have different simulations, quite complex, that we are not able to simulate today, like DNA. And last but not least, what I find particularly interesting in the world we live right now, we believe on the digital identity we have provided through our systems, the cybersecurity we have provided, and that could be broken by quantum algorithms, by new quantum cryptography. So I really think that would change a lot of things. We have to be ready. And my last sentence would be to say, to be ready, as Jaime was saying, you have to learn, you have to be trained, you need to design a risk model, you need to have a strategy, and last but not least, you need to prove. You need to create proof of concepts, and you need to be exposed to the technology. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Luis. Thank you very much. Yeah, big applause. I have a question for you. No, don't sit down, don't sit down. I have a question for you.
Sure, absolutely.
No, but especially because we are seeing now in this slide I celebrate how you at Grant Thornton, you are not only talking about quantum computing, which of course, that side of the slide, but I celebrate the others. I mean, you see the implication of quantum technologies in healthcare, in oil and gas. Am I right?
Correct.
So you are seeing different industries that are impacted by quantum technologies. That's correct, right?
Absolutely. What I believe is like, as usual, banking is taking the lead on this
Sure,
because they they have the resources, and obviously they will be exposed to cybersecurity breaches.
All right.
But also when we talk about simulation and representation,
Exactly.
pharma, healthcare, and also when we talk about oil and gas
Oil and gas,
industries,
yeah.
they would be involved here. But I'm sure that many more like logistics, insurance, they're already investing a little bit of time on this. What I hope is that they invest
All right.
more time and resources on researching for quantum computing.
Absolutely. So I certainly celebrate you guys that you are seeing the wider picture. Of course, we in the security arena, in IT, we talk about our world, but I celebrate specifically that. And again, my applause to Grant Thornton. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Ramses.
being
Thank
with
you,
us.
guys.
All right. Thank you, Luis. Yeah, thank you very much. And now we go to the next session before the closing. Again, we still have time. I am inviting not one, but two speakers. So you guys, if you want to sit down, get your chairs ready, or if you wanna do it, standing as you will. We have Juan Cauvet, Cybersecurity Director of Eurecat, and Carlos Puga, CTO of Open Trends. You want to sit? So I will get you the chance for you. So you want to sit down or you? Anyway, you choose. Oh, thank you very much. Anyway, you have the chairs ready for you. So you're going to be talking, and you have a presentation, correct?
Yes.
We have the. Can I have the clicker? Who has the click? Oh, thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, the beauty of what you are going to talk, and I'm looking straight into the camera. They are going to talk about SDK post-quantum. I'm super excited. I mean, you are a CTO. You know what we're talking. So. SDK, what this is about, you have 10 minutes, 12 minutes, then we will go to the closing with Jose Maria. But I mean, let us know what is about SDK. That sounds super technical to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Go ahead, guys. Thank you very much for being with us.
Okay, thank you, Ramses.
Or in Catalan or in Spanish, as you wish. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, we can continue in English, maybe.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mobile World Capital, for inviting me to explain our project. It's a pleasure to be here to explain the SDK post-quantum. It's as Luis and Jaime has explained before, we have a challenge. We have a challenge that is work on the maybe it's not only replace the cryptographic algorithms that we are using at this currently, but it's obvious that we have to investigate or find new algorithms based on other mathematics problems to improve the level of the security, taking into account that the quantum computer will be here in some years. And well, during this process, Jaime has explained that the NIST has been a challenge to find the best algorithms in this case, post-quantum algorithms. But it's very important also to start implementing these algorithms, validating the different algorithms that they are analyzing and evaluating in different environments. Try to see how the performance of these algorithms and so on. And well, we have think about develop a SDK to have a real environment to test these algorithms, these post-quantum algorithms. In this case, well, then I will explain more or less what's our role from Eurecat. That Eurecat is a technology center, and where we are doing research and projects related with post-quantum cryptography. And in this case, we have doing the validation of these algorithms within this environment. This is the SDK that Open Trends is developing. well, the project is divided in different phases, but we can focus on the main phase of the project, where first of all we have obviously analyzed the different mathematics problems that can be used to build these new cryptographic algorithms, and analyze what are the best algorithms, so the best solutions that now seems can be more secure against a computer quantum attack, but also implement the theoretical proposals and validate these algorithms. In this case, we have two types of algorithms. One of them dedicated of focus on encryption, decryption of data, and other type of algorithms dedicated to data signature. Okay, we have these different types of algorithms, and in those cases we have to use different mathematics problems to be able to develop practical algorithms. There are different solutions, but in all cases we have different behaviors. We have algorithms that can be encrypt data more or less at the same speed that the current algorithms, but in other cases we have to manage big keys to be able to sign a document or something like that. And in this case, we have following this challenge that the NIST started some years ago, and implementing and using implementations that are some other organizations and consortiums are doing in this case. And the idea is to start with the selection of two algorithms, but then be able to change these algorithms or add new algorithms, new implementations to adapt in the different situations. And then I think in this case,
this is my part.
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Well done. Thanks for having me. We are the last one to come to the party because we don't know enough mathematics, enough physics. We don't have abilities in quantum computing, but at some time, these voices that in the future we will break all this cryptography in the future. Well, there is something that can be now. I can do it now, and this is making better algorithms to develop, to run in currently computers. And this is our part. We are the IT guys. At some time, we have to take all these new algorithms, quantum safe, and taking from the labs to the real world. And this is our area, also our expertise. We know a lot to develop mobile apps, backends, like the mobile app for the Mobile Congress that we developed several years. And we know a lot how perform the algorithms in all these environments, the weaknesses, the strengths, and we know a lot of how in an environment like backend or a more restricted environment like in mobile apps, you have to behave to preserve battery, to make more efficiently with the constraints in each environment you have to implement these algorithms. And where our part is, but in the future we will have very powerful computers, but now we have to prepare. And at this point, I will say, don't panic. The market is reacting. All the big players will be ready when we need it. If you remember when 64 bits of case seemed enough cryptography power, and nowadays this is break it and nothing passes. But it will not be a plug-and-play change. There is a lot of things to do. Sorry. There is a lot of things to do, and some of these things to do can be done now. But we can do now. We can do an SDK. SDK runs system surprises. It's software development kit is not so glamorous, but what we do in this case is taking the efforts for the people from Eurecat and the people from this, that at last the Americans will decide what the rest of the world will do it for the several years. And well, I need these algorithms to be performed efficiently in a device with this battery and a device with this CPU. You know, the mobile devices are every day more powerful, but they are not like in the backend. At the backend, we can do all the resources that we do. It's an economical matter in the backend. You can eat all the CPU you want. The big 4 players of the cloud will be happy to sell you all this power, but in the mobile world, we have to battle with these constraints. And this is all about of the SDK. Make an efficient implementation of already known algorithms, the niche ones, and surely we are at the final phase of the niche selection. I think the next year is the time frame where they announce the choose ones, and there are already implementations in labs of this. And our work is make them work in a mobile device, they work in a cloud platform, and make them work with all the rest of the functionality. Okay. In a lab, you only have to worry about the performance and take times. In a home banking application, e-commerce application, you have to realize that this small library, hopefully, and time-consuming and power-consuming library can live with the rest of your functionality in the app. And that's all. I know it's the less glamorous part of the quantum world, but someone has to do it to have you in your apps.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Let me ask you something, guys. Yes. Let me ask you something. So this is a reality, correct? So this is not something that is in a lab, etc. So this is a reality. So it's happening now. I'm seeing mobile applications here. I'm seeing a backend here. I have another question for you, but this is reality, correct? So
Yes.
so this is happening. Okay.
At the end, you will have more or less transparently, only at the cost of the power you are consuming, offerings from all the providers in the cloud. That is, you are using TLS as encryption layer, you are using OpenSCL, all your libraries you are accustomed to use will be proof and ready in an uncertain time frame.
All right.
Hopefully, surely before you have the quantum computer ready to attack this cryptography. But this is not happening now. You have labs, specs, you have white papers, you have several open source implementations.
All right.
You have universities taking benchmarks of these algorithms, determining if it's better to combine one or two algorithms, one for the caching, one for the encryption, and so on. But you don't have the ability now to develop an app like this one, like you are using for render here. And hey, the message I'm doing to the backend will be encrypted with these algorithms, because it's not readily available. But the algorithms are. You only need integrators, and this is our role. We are the integrators.
Can I have another question? Yes, I guess so. So, is this part? Can you move this to the cloud? I'm assuming this is a back-end server platform, and you have servers. I mean, my security soul has to ask, can you put this part in a cloud? Maybe yes, maybe no. But can you develop?
Well,
so is it possible? Is it advisable?
Nowadays, when we are thinking back-end servers, 90% of the time we're thinking back-end servers in the cloud.
Already, okay,
yes,
okay, all right.
Because we are not working with mainframes and not migrating legacy systems, where if we have to develop a new platform that have to scale in their capability of processing power, that seems that really something really needed. And surely in the future there will be hardware accelerated algorithms, and surely this will are readily available in the cloud provider. I don't want to buy hardware than we have to
great.
sell in 5 years. It's already ready. It's let me say a software-defined architecture based on microsystems that you can scale individually each of their functions, and you can easily comments in already systems that you have in your backend.
Excellent. My last comment, and that's for you. I mean, you represent EuroCAT. Yeah. Of course, we are in Mobile World Congress. We're in Barcelona, Spain. We're in Catalonia. I mean, the implication of, let's say, the industry in Catalonia. I mean, again, you represent EuroCAT. We have the booth of Catalonia over there, which is gorgeous. You know, it's great. I mean, you're seeing traction. I mean, of course, Open Trends is giving that, and Grant Thornton, etc. So, but you're seeing traction within the country, Spain, Catalonia, so that's correct, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, there are many players in Catalonia and Spain working on this line, working on this. Maybe we have not a need to push on this way, but we have several players and many companies
That's fantastic.
On that.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So I celebrate that. I'll give you my applause. Thank you very much. Give them applause. That SDK thing was great. Thank you for being with us, guys. And now, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now we have a closing. We have 5 minutes left. We appreciate to be on time. We are always respectful with everybody's agenda. But I would like to say that the best comes now. I mean, it's a closing, so it's never good. But we have a person of honor. We have Josep Maria Vilà, which is the president of Entanglement Partners. I have to tell you that he has a track of successes. He has been awarded quite recently with a Medal of Honor, with a Medal of Honor of the association, etc. So, and we have them here with us today, with you today. Again, Josep Maria Vilà, please welcome to stage. Here's gonna be the closing. It's my, thank you for being with us today. And again, you received quite recently a Medal of Honor, which is an honor. So you do the closing of this very good session. We talk about technicalities, SDK. We talk about a lot of things. Please do the closing. Thank you for being with us, Josep Maria.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I will be very brief. After everything we have heard in this morning in this room, we could conclude that by saying, paraphrasing a quote, an old quote, that is, act now because the future is near. Sorry? So we are doing this by forming a group of companies, experts in several fields, like Open Trends, like Grant Thornton, like EuroCAT, CyberEnforce, and Entanglement Partners, with the vocation to helping all the companies that understand that the future is very close. Thank you very much for attending this event.
Thank you very much, Josep Maria. And I thank you very much. Thank you. And you heard him from the man himself. The future is now. The future is happening, and the present continues. It has been a pleasure to host you, and you all over the camera. We still have a couple of minutes. Thank you for that. I don't need it because I have that. Thank you. So I'm inviting every speaker and basically everyone to be on stage. We need to take a picture. This is being recorded. But again, it's been a pleasure to look at the agenda, look at the things that have been delivered here today. We had Banco Santander, Grant Thornton, EuroCAT, CyberEnforce, Open Trends, so Entanglement Partners. I mean, again, I represent Entanglement Partners, the Quantum World Association. My line of work, I work with CyberRes, a micro-focused line of business. But I tell you something, on my cybersecurity piece, I'm pretty obsessed on how the future is now. But on the SDK and mobility and cloud, the future is now. And what you said about sensors and Grant Thornton, the future is now. So what happened here today and here in this booth and at the Mobile World Congress at large, I think this is instrumental for the societies that we live in. I think it's instrumental for corporations, government, retail, healthcare, education, energy, oil and gas. At the end of the day, it's instrumental for us all, for societies. Thank you very much. Please, speakers, come here to the stage. We'll take a picture. Someone with a good phone, please take a picture. Thank you.